Hello, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijeta, and today we will be continuing with our lecture series. We were talking about Ben Jonson, and we will start with his play Every Man in His Humour, which was written in 1598, and it's one of the most important plays. So, it is his first play, and it was played by Lord Chamberlain's men at Curtain Theatre. So, the Lord Chamberlain's men were a group of actors which used to perform most of the plays back in the day. The prologue of the play attacks themes and conventions of contemporary drama and explains his theory of humor. Shakespeare even acted in it. He played the role of the character Edward Novell. The character Bobadil is one of Jonson's greatest creations, a boastful, cowardly soldier, and it's asked a lot, so just keep that in mind. Charles Dickens acted the role of Captain Bobadil in Ben Jonson's Every Man in His Humour in 1845. So, even Charles Dickens acted in the play when it was reenacted in 1845. And you can see the relevance of the play. Even after so many years, it was still being performed. So, let us come to the plot. In the prologue, the speaker announces that the play was written due to the popularity of the theatre. The opening scene finds Novell, an old man, at his house. He tells Brainworm, his servant, to fetch his son Edward. The father is happy that Edward is a scholar, as he himself was, but he does not approve of his son's taste for the fruitless arts. Master Stephen, an easily duped countryman, then arrives to visit relatives. Novell gives him advice on how to be a better man. Shortly thereafter, Stephen departs. A servant then gives Novell a letter meant for Edward. Then he realizes it is not for him and takes offense at the impolite, informal tone of the letter. He has the letter given to his son and decides he will encourage him, but not force him to try to be a good man. The next scene of Act 1 finds Edward receiving the letter and learning that his father has read it. Stephen enters and asks about the man who delivered the letter, who is now long gone. Stephen and Edward, who are cousins, talk and then go to the city to meet the man who sent the letter. Scene 3 introduces the characters Matthew and Cobb at latter's house. Cobb talks about respectable ancestors and Matthew asks about locating a man named Captain Bobadil, who Cobb says is his guest. Matthew does not believe this. Cobb tells him the man slept on his bench the previous night. Cobb ends the scene with a monologue that tells of the drama in his house and of Bobadil owing him money. Scene 4, the final scene of Act 1, unfolds in Cobb's house, where Bobadil lies on the bench. Matthew and Bobadil talk, and Matthew agrees, not to mention that Bobadil spent the night there. Matthew shares a new play, which they discuss before leaving for a tavern. A lot of things are happening, and now we come to Act 2, which opens in another part of the city. Kitley, a merchant, enters along with his cashier, Cash, and Kitley's brother-in-law, Downright, who is a squire. Kitley tells the squire that Wellbred, his brother, has been disrespectful, and Wellbred is angered now. Bobadil and Matthew look for, but they do not find Wellbred. Next, in the moorfields of London, Brainworm is disguised as a soldier. He wants to stop Novell's pursuit of his son. Stephen and Noel enter. Stephen has lost a purse containing a ring from his mistress. In Act 3, Matthew, Bobadil, and Wellbred are in a tavern. While Matthew and Bobadil talk of disliking Wellbred's brother, Downright, Edward and Stephen arrive. Wellbred, it turns out, is the one who wrote the letter to Edward. They go on to discuss Stephen and Bobadil's military experiences. Cash and Kitley are engaged in a shady exchange of money. Kitley sends Cash on another job and asks to be informed if Wellbred or anyone else comes to his house. An upset Cobb enters and Cash tells him it is his humor that is making him feel distressed. Now the next scene is at Justice Clement's house. Humor means like the 4 humors that we discussed about. That. The next scene is at Justice Clement's house. Cobb tells Kitley that some men have arrived at his house and Kitley worries about his wife and sister, giving in to their desires. Cobb attempts to put his mind at ease. Cobb also wants revenge as Bobadil has used his wife. Justice Clement and Roger, his clerk, arrive. Cobb asks the justice to punish Bobadil, but the justice orders Cobb jailed for his character and previous actions. The final act takes place at the home of Justice Clement. Clement, Noel, Kitley, Dame Kitley, Cash, Cobb, and some servants enter. They are trying to sift through the sequence of false messages they have received. Bobadil and Matthew join the group and announce they have a warrant for Downright. Now, Stephen, Downright, and Brainworm, who is in disguise, they all arrive. Clement wants Brainworm jailed for not serving warrants in the right way. Brainworm reveals himself and his deceitful actions are exposed. In attempting to bring closure to everything, Justice Clement instructs every person to rid themselves of the emotions that are weighing them down, and they start to celebrate. It's a very self-aware kind of a play if you think about it. The characters, sometimes they talk like they are in the play, and sometimes they talk like they are outside the play, as if they are looking at themselves from outside, you see. So that is something that is very crucial if you think about it, because it's such an old play, and the kind of self-awareness that the play holds, it puts to shame a lot of the plays and a lot of media that is coming out these days. I mean, this is something that goes on to tell that literature, even classic literature, is classic literature for a reason. And Ben Jonson, Homer, all these playwrights, different playwrights, their thought of thinking and their line of thinking, it did not need improvement, it seems. I mean, obviously, improvement is essential and it is welcome in every aspect of life, but you can see that one might expect that these thinkers are so old and these are like from thousands of years old thinkers. They must not have such a progressive or advanced line of thinking, but here we see that it is not quite so. We see Homer, we see Ben Jonson, we see Sophocles, and other playwrights talking about such deep things, such deep emotions, and at the same time, they are also able to not take themselves so seriously. So it is quite interesting to see such varied dimensions of playwrights from those times. And it goes on to tell that in classics and in old literature we can find so much and so much to learn, which is the reason why we should keep going on and keep reading them, which is the reason why it is still relevant, it is still asked in such exams, because they are not just asking you to cram up everything up. They want you to get introduced to such literatures, such works, and that is quite interesting. That's quite a revelation, to be honest with you guys. And yeah, anyways, let us go to the next play, Volpone the Fox, written in 1605. Chief characters are Mosca, who is a fly or parasite, Voltaire, the vulture, a lawyer who is ready to break the law, Corbaccio, raven, disinherits his own son, Corvino, crow, sends his virtuous wife to Volpone's bed, Celia, wife of Corvino. Volpone woos her by disguising as mountebank. I think woo is a typo here. So even you see these characters, the next play also, they are characterized as having some characteristics, and they are assigned to an animal, it seems, and it's quite clever and it's quite interesting if you think about it. And even the title of the play, everything is so meticulous and articulate, and it goes on to show that these classic plays are they're not going to get out of fashion. They will still be used to study, they will still be used to go back and learn and rethink a lot of things. And this is my take on the plays that we are reading, because it just came to me. I used to think that, UGC NET exams, they just want students to learn all these plays which are not essential or which are so outdated. But it is not true, it seems. These plays have a place in the general arena of things, and I think these plays should be studied more to understand our thinking processes and our personal lives. So I think these are some of my thoughts, some polished, some unpolished. And if you liked my video, I will keep this short video. And if you liked my video, please give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel and comment. And I will meet you all in the next video. Thank you.